Ah, hell. I'm in the wrong game again. Hey guys, Derry here from Drake Queen Gaming. So if you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming at you with a new Psychic Connections playthrough. We're going to be starting Aiden's path. So I'm going to start from the beginning. This will be a beginning episode. If you guys don't want to see that, I completely understand. You can skip it. This is just going to be episode 1 for his playlist. So it's going to start pretty much like how the other ones start. You guys pretty much know what to expect, those who have seen it before. So, just fair warning, it's the beginning again. Just letting you guys know in advance. Anyway, let's start a new game, shall we? Alright. It feels like I've been driving forever. Wait a second. Ooh. Yes, we know who this is now, don't we? Oh, that's so interesting. It's so dark. I can't afford to stop. Could you even see? I can't let myself. You were so tired. If I could just. Okay, never mind. I didn't have to make the stupid noise. Oh, shit! I jolt awake in a sweat, gasping for air. It was just a dream. It's been a while since I had a nightmare about back then. From what I had been told, I was in a car wreck that landed me in a coma for almost 2 years. When I finally came to, my memory was spotty at best. As time went on, most of what I'd forgotten came back to me. Meanwhile, I underwent about 6 months of grueling physical therapy. It was hell, but I rathered that than over an extended period in a wheelchair. Maybe that could be worded differently, I don't know. Thankfully, I was able to get my high school diploma throughout the entire process. With some help, my dad was able to set me up for a college scholarship as a result of my situation. I'm still not sure how I feel about being a charity case, but I don't think I could have expected a full ride anywhere with my grades. I just noticed the texture on that. It looks really nice. Now I've completely recovered, save for a scar on the back of my head and the nightmares that I barely remember when I wake up. I've officially started college today. The stress of it all is probably why I had that dream again. I was barely awake for orientation yesterday. The trip took too much out of me, so I just crashed when I got to my room. I should probably check the time. 10:09. I definitely won't miss waking up early for high school. It doesn't look like I have any new messages from Dad. No surprise there. You'd think he'd have been more worried about his baby boy. Unsurprisingly, it didn't take long for him to return to being a relatively uninvolved parent. The least he could do is tell me if I need to get a freaking job while I'm out here. Now that I'm a bit more awake, I should probably log into the website mentioned at orientation. It looks like I need to create an account still. I should have done this yesterday. Oh well, no time like the present. Nice. Yep. Yep, Mason Carter's. Wow, they already have all my classes listed into a schedule. I barely even remember what I signed up for. 1 second, guys. There we go. Allergies. Looks like I have an English class in a few hours. Jeez, I'm getting flooded with Sprunk page notifications. I guess one of my friends posted an update. Sprunk page. It seems like Henry's doing pretty good at his school. He was the only one to reach out to me after I'd woken up. I guess the others felt too awkward to message the coma guy. Henry, huh? Huh. I wonder if that means anything. Interesting. I was pretty thankful to have him help me catch up on everything I'd missed. I wish I could have gone to his school so that I'd have someone nearby, but we ended up on opposite ends of the country, so I can't really lean on him where I am. Yeah, this is, I wonder if Henry comes into play later. He's a junior now, and I'd probably be one too if not for... I flopped my phone back down onto my bed, letting my eyes stare lazily up at the bare ceiling. My bare ceiling. It all still feels so surreal. And what had felt like seconds, my entire life changed. My mom and dad had split, and all my friends left while I slept. Friends. It feels so strange not having anyone. I don't know if I can do that. Someone's at the door. Huh, I guess I better put on some pants and leave the existential crisis stuff for later. Shuffling my jeans on, I moved to open the door, but... Ah, the rambunctious panda. Oh, hey there, you're Mason, right? Can I help you? I'm almost positive I've never seen this girl before, and I don't know how she has a key to my room, but I'm glad I at least got to put pants on before she opened the door. My name's Zoe. I'm the RA for this floor. Just doing my duties and making sure you've moved in all right. Zoe brushes past me, letting herself into my room and begins looking around. Yes, please, just let yourself in. Don't mind if I do. I'm still a bit groggy, so I could be wrong, but I don't think she's allowed to just waltz into my room like this. Looks like you lucked out not getting assigned a roommate. Still a little empty, though, ain't it? I stare at her blankly. I just got here. Did she expect me to have this place decked out or something? She looks at my desk and pats it off as if to dust it before using it as a seat, rather than the chair right next to the desk. I love girls like Zoe. They're just so great. Hey, it's your room. Don't sweat it. I'm just pulling your leg. College is a huge step, so don't stress too much, and go at your own pace. Since I'm here, do you have any questions for me? Right. She's a resident assistant. She'd likely know a lot about the campus. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. What is there to do around here? Well, on campus there are a couple spots worth your time. The library is probably the ideal study location. They enforce a strict low-volume policy. You mean they do more than loudly shush people? Let's just say if you need to check out books for a class or use the media center to print something, I'd recommend staying on the librarian's good side. I question what someone would have to do to justify banning them from using open school resources like the library. But considering the RAs can just let themselves into dorm rooms, I shouldn't question something like that either. I'll keep that in mind. There are a few open plots of grass and a couple good running trails all around campus if you're an outdoorsy type. Although, if you prefer to exercise inside, I'm told we have a pretty good gym. It's usually pretty comfortable most of the time, but it gets packed in the winter months. There's a variety of equipment, but there are some vending machines with low-calorie snacks and supplements. Speaking of food, I think they said something about a dining hall at orientation. Yeah, though if I'm being honest, I can't recommend the food there. You'd honestly be better off getting food from, literally anywhere else. It can't be that bad. Well, one of the chefs on staff is very eccentric. He likes to experiment with the meals. But if you don't believe me, you're free to experience it yourself. Just make sure you record it for me if you do. Personally, I recommend you explore the campus. I don't know much about you, so I can't really speak to where you'd like to go. Do you have any other questions? How does one become an RA? Oh, are you interested in being an RA? I'm not sure, actually. I'm not even really sure what an RA does. But I'm growing more positive you shouldn't have been able to get into my room. To be honest, it isn't anything special. We maintain dorm life and try to assist students with their needs while they live on campus. To simplify, we clean the dormitory building and make sure none of the students have any banned substances. I'd also be your point of contact if you got too inebriated at a party and didn't have a sober driver. Have you ever had to do that before? Only for students I didn't have any other friends to call. If you were interested in being an RA, I can tell you now that you won't be able to become one. Why not? It's a position only held by upperclassmen, so I'm afraid you'd need to be here at least a year freshie. Something about being called freshie feels demeaning, though maybe it's because I'm having trouble looking at Zoe as my upperclassman. What program are you studying in? Me? Well, I'm a business major with a to-be-determined minor. I am hoping to take over my dad's business when he retires, and it seemed like a good place to start. Oh, what kind of business does he run? It's a sort of support group for individuals with unique needs. Suppose it's part of the reason I picked up being an RA, so I could get more experience interacting with different people. Oh, what about you? What are you here to study? I'm not too sure yet. I figured I'd cover my general education credits while I figured that out. There's nothing wrong with that. You're keeping your options open, which is smart. Just don't be that dumb junior in 2 years that declares a random major because it seemed doable. I have no more questions. Well, if you think of more questions, don't be afraid to ask. It's my job after all. Well, you're my last stop today. Zoe motions towards the exit, but she pauses and turns to look straight at me. Is there something wrong? No, it's just you have interesting eyes. Is she hitting on me? If so, I'm flattered, but she's sort of lacking the main thing I like in a guy, like being a guy. Thanks? Look, we know that devious grin. Hey, here's a thought. Why don't you come check out the club fair with me? Beg your pardon? Yeah, it's this big cluster of clubs that try to recruit new members during the first week of each semester. A whole week. Isn't that a little much? Probably, but I'm sure you'll find that a lot of people here take their extracurriculars seriously. I'm not so sure. I just got here, and I don't know if joining some club the moment I hit the campus is the smartest thing to do. It can be pretty overwhelming, so I thought I could be your tour guide. Trust me, it's a lot of fun, and a great opportunity to meet people too. Why would you want to be my tour guide? Why does anybody do anything ever? I'm always looking for new friends, and plus, you're pretty funny, so I think I'd have a good time hanging out with you. You think I'm funny? I don't remember making any jokes. That's because you're kinetically funny, and you don't even realize it. I'm kinetically funny. What does that even mean? It means the things you do are funny rather than the things you say. Like, for example, your fly's been down this whole time. I quickly look down, and lo and behold, my fly is not only undone, but gaping open as if to encourage peeking at my choice of underwear. I grab the zipper and yank it upward. I look up at the panda before me, who just snickers. We've been talking for a few minutes, and she just now pointed this out. See? You're kinetically funny. Plus, I hate it when people stay cooped up in their dorm rooms all day when they could be out living life. Like, really, what is there to do inside that you couldn't do with others? Play PC games. You can do that outside with a laptop, but I wouldn't recommend it. I can think of one thing, but after what just happened, I probably shouldn't make that joke, assuming she isn't already thinking that's what I was doing. Zoe's looking at me expectantly. It couldn't hurt to go check out the extracurricular activities, and I don't exactly have a reason to say no here. I guess it'd be fine. Awesome! You won't regret it. Let's get going! In a blink of an eye, she's yanking my arm and pulling me out of my room towards the stairs. It's not until she starts telling me about when she'd gotten lost last week that I start questioning my life choices. Oh, Mason. Mason, you are in for quite a ride. This is going to be a long day. The walk to the fair was pretty short. Zoe kept telling me more about campus life and things to look out for. Seriously, frat parties are the worst. By the end of it, everyone's completely shit-faced. Not to mention any guys you meet there are just trying to get in your pants. Really? All of them? No, not all of them, but most of the people I've met at those things were just looking for a quick hookup. Zoe stops for a moment and begins looking around us. In an instant, she's running towards one of the tables. I'm standing awkwardly as I watch her go. Should I have followed her, or... Hey, Mason, get over here. I want you to meet somebody. Ah, there's the man of the hour. Aiden, this is Mason. He's a new student, so I thought I'd guide him through the club. Club fair, blah. I see. Well, it's nice to meet you, Mason. The wolf before me extends his hand outward, and I give him mine in return. His grip is firm, almost stiff. I look him in the eyes, and his gaze meets mine. I don't know if I've ever met someone with more piercing eyes. Aiden here is the president of the student government, and probably the most knowledgeable person here. Zoe says this proudly. Looking at Aiden, I'd say he looks the part. He almost looks princely somehow, though that might just be because his clothes look like they might be worth more than my phone. Well, I'm sure that's true. I don't think it's fair to boast, given my status. His eyes return their focus on me, but somehow it feels like he isn't necessarily looking at me, but through me. I hope Zoe hasn't been giving you a hard time. She has a tendency to go overboard. She let herself into my room, gawked at my fly being down, and was pretty insistent on guiding me for this club fair. So, he isn't wrong. She's definitely a force, of that I'm certain. Yeah, it seems we might be like-minded individuals, but don't let her get to you. I've known Zoe for a few years now. She usually means well. If she ever becomes too much, just let me know, and I'll give her a stern talking to. Oh, there we go. Alright, guys, there we go. We have met Aiden. And Aiden's slot goes in number 3. Awesome! So yes, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget, this is the new Let's Play series for Psychic Connections. This is Aiden's Path. I'm going to be doing everything in order. So, just so you guys know. This is starting from the beginning. So if you guys want to skip it, I completely understand. Oh, sorry. This will be accompanying another shorter Psychic Connections video that wraps up Elliot's path for the current build. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to watch that first Psychic Connections video, because there's an important question that I'm asking you guys when the video starts that I need some thoughts on. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that little notification bell to the next video. I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!